Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with the sprint race here from the LCR F2 League. If you missed out on the feature race that went live yesterday, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But today though, we're back for the sprint top 8 reversed for this one, so we're going to be starting up in P2. And I'm thinking this one's probably going to be quite interesting. 8 laps ahead of us. I think we just need to try and survive early on and see how many places we're going to leak through as the race continues. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. If you do want to enjoy, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well for more F1 22 content. And yeah, hopefully we can have a bit of a cleaner race than the first one. Oh, poo, you don't get a formation lap. Oh no, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go for the sprint race. I was not expecting that off the launch there, but we'll try and keep it clean and tidy as we head up towards turn 1. We've been absolutely swamped into the first corner there. Carl's trying to dive it absolutely everywhere, and we're down to about P6 immediately. Oh no! Oh no! That was not quite what I thought was going to happen off the start there. I was getting myself nice and in the mindset, ready for a formation lap as... I don't know who's still romping away at the front of the field. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. Apologies to Leopard as well. Joseph as well getting involved. So go around the outside of Leopard there. We've got Connor on the inside, almost 3 wide off the corner. I think we will just hang on in the middle. Here comes Connor. Big dives coming in as Connor will sneak through there. We're basically back to where we would have been at the end of this race. I wanted to try and hang on to places early on, and instead I've lost basically every single place you can imagine at the start of this one, but everyone's still weaving this way and that. I mean, that is a big swing into the braking zone, and I've been murdered again. What is going on? I was trying to brake a little bit earlier there because there were cars going everywhere, but yeah, somehow... Oh, ripped one of the hands off the steering wheel for a brief moment, but we're down to P9 then. By the end of lap 1. Maybe in the future I need to be a bit more aggressive on opening lap 1s here, but anyway, trying to navigate our way through the final couple of corners. Still top 8 score points in this sprint race, so you know, maybe if there's some more carnage or chaos we can try and gain back some places later on in the afternoon, but we'll wait and see there as round in the final corner. Yeah, 2nd to 9th is not quite the lap 1 I had in mind there, as apparently we got a warning for track limits. Now I'm pretty certain in the sprints only 2 warnings will grant you a penalty, so we are going to be very, very careful. It is only a 2-second penalty, as you can see Connor and Leopard side by side down at turn 1 there. Of course, probably the 2 big championship rivals in this series, but yeah, like I said, I'm pretty certain 2 warnings nets you a penalty in this race, so we've got to be really, really careful of that. We can't afford any more off tracks in this sprint. As you can still see cars up in front. And those are probably the 3 quickest drivers. They're all tripping over each other, batting that out over P5. But yeah, we've got to try and get a run back on Jack at some point, and we'll see, of course, with those 3 all trying to charge through, whether we'll get more concertina and up around the outside there. I accidentally probably positioned the car right where I would have wanted it in the end, because we didn't want to pick up any front wing damage there. You don't really know how much contact can result in damage in these things as we try and get a run on Jack up the straight. He's actually going to give me the inside line there, not too sure why, wasn't expecting it to be honest. Giving room though off the corner, but we will now move back up into P8 then of this race. Mark loving that one apparently. Here goes Bourbon and Leopard though, a little bit of a lock-up from the Charouz driver down at the hairpin has allowed the Dams car to have a look towards the outside as we head back up the back straight. I think Leopard though should probably hang on to the position. He'll just slam the door off the corner, which he does. But Bourbon trying to come back at him. But look at this big gaggle of cars now, 3 wide. I think that was briefly in through this final sector. So yeah, if we just keep it clean and tidy, keep pushing, there's no chance these guys aren't losing a lot of time tripping over each other. There is still plenty more to be had, but sadly, not many laps to do it. Oh, big bits of contact through the final corner though between the 2 in front of us. Sorry, it's not a Nascar, it's a UNI Virtuosi. As Bourbon apparently not happy then in the ongoings there. But yeah, like I said, I don't really want to get involved with these 2. I want to work together and try and close up to the whole gaggle in front. As it's really worked out nicely for Connor though, is picking cars off at the road. Almost a half distance though. don't want to finish P8. If we finish P8 here, when there's so much potential for a little bit more, I'm going to be pretty gutted. I've got no idea who's just dropped down into P5, but I feel like they might be about to lose a couple more spots, so I have to be super careful again with the track limits. It is Joseph, who I think, yeah, was the one wanted to believe we could have caught in the feature race yesterday, so yeah, maybe if he loses a bit more time battling those two, we can try and get a bit closer to him. But again, just trying to be super careful with track limits still. We are pulling away from the two cars behind, but yeah, just got to be really on it still. It's almost getting a bit of front snagging down at the hairpin, but we get away with it once more. Oh, there we go, Leopard. A power move to the inside of Joseph down in towards the final few turns of Sector 2. Is Joseph just going to try and hang it there? Yes, he is. And is Carlin. And I think Bourbon's going to try and pick him off as well in the same moment. So he's just getting shuffled back for now, but sadly not quite shuffled back enough unless they go side by side through there, which they are going to. Brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing between the pair of them at the moment, but we've got to try and get a bit closer. We need to get within the range of Joseph as we head through the final couple of turns there. Like I said, if we finish P8, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed that we can't get anything more out of this sprint race. As well, Joseph, big wobble at the final corner. We've got to hope now in the final 3 laps he loses the DRS range to those cars in front. But still the top two battling out. It's not over. As Leopard runs immediately wide down at turn 1, will Bourbon be able to try and have a look past him as we head in towards the S's there? Oh, again, they're rubbing and racing as they head through, but Bourbon's picked off the move. Joseph now picked up a penalty, as that was incredibly close to us getting one as well. So now the pressure is slightly off in that regard, but I'm sort of looking at Bourbon and Leopard here. If they continue to duke it out, maybe we can try and pick one of them off in a sneaky little move late on in the race there as well. That's the line you want. Whoa, whoa! I'm going to guess where the curbing was there, as I wasn't actually planning on trying to go for a move down here, but he's going to go defensive. We'll try and get a run off the corner. No, in a word, I just cannot find the traction at that turn, as we're all going to have the DRS still. But yeah, I mean, I would like to go for a move still on Joseph before the end. I would like to put it off on the road. But we'll wait and see. There is Leopard and Bourbon again, side by side, down in towards the final sector once more. Oh, almost meeting in the middle, and Bourbon will get shuffled back once again. Got no idea who Connor's just overtaken as well, but maybe they can get shuffled back as there's more cars just everywhere. It's all kicking off at the moment, as everyone desperate to try and gain some places off each other. And like I said, I mean, 2 more laps to go. We might ride on board right to the end here, because it's all getting a little bit crazy still. And you don't know where to watch, to be honest, but I mean, we've got probably the best seat in the house for it all going on. So we head through the final corner, try and get the car wedged over that curbing, but I'm going to try and take any opportunity I can possibly get, but I'll try and play it sensibly as well. There's someone trying to go down into the pit wall to defend the position there. Leopard doing the same thing against Joseph. You can't move like that so aggressively across the circuit, at least not in my mind. But yeah, like I said, we're just going to try and sit back, pick up the pieces, pick up the spoils, if possible here. Luckily we've not under much pressure from the cars behind as we head through the S's for the penultimate time in this race. Just try and keep the nose where it is, of course. These super soft tyres just starting to get a little bit more worn as well. So everyone just starting to struggle, of course, a bit with the grip. So maybe looking after them up until now might have done you some favours late on in the day. Oh, there's a car off into the wall. That's been a massive shunt. Ben out of the race immediately. No idea how he's gone off there. I think the elbows are coming out now late on in the day. And cars are starting to get sacrificed here as Ben straight off into the shadow round there. Heartbreak for him. Wonder if he just connected with someone, as Connor now trying to go for a move for the lead. Late on in the day, always seems to find himself in the right place at the right time there, as I think Connor's pulled it off. We've got the other ART car running off the road. Someone else has picked up a penalty as well. It is all going on late on in the day here. 1 more lap to go after this one. Bourbon now, I think, is trying to move up to P2. Look at this! There's just cars everywhere as we head in through the final sector here, and again, we're just going to try and sit back and see what we can try and capitalise. We could be on for P5, actually, with both these cars in front of me with penalties, but it's not over yet. We've still got 1 more lap to go. I don't know how I picked up a warning. I thought that was going to be a penalty. Now we definitely cannot pick up another warning on the final lap of this race then, if we want to try and get these 2 freebies, is at the final corner. Leopard pulling off another move. I mean, this is just carnage as we head back down towards the first corner. I think that's the Dams car trying to defend. Got the other Carlin on the inside through turn 1. Like I said, we're just going to try and sit back and pick up the spoils. I know I keep saying it, but it's probably the best thing to be trying to do at the moment. We might see if something happens on this last lap. Might be able to try and get involved somewhere, but we'll see what happens as that Carlin is struggling a bit to get the car where I needed it through those next couple of corners. I think the Dams car may be struggling as well, just a little bit, as we get all over his gearbox. Practically pushing Joseph along as we head back down the hill for the final time here. And I think, yeah, Connor, look at that, up into the lead of the race. Just seems to be able to pick cars off. Right place at the right time. He's a lucky man, is that Scott. I tell you what, in all the years of league racing I've done with him, he's a very, very lucky man. Always seems to be able to get to the right place at the right time there. But down the back straight for the final time. Are we going to see any last lap moves? Joseph having a look up the inside of Maffio. Is he going to be able to pull that off? That might have been another warning there. There's certainly a lot of curb. ART's going to try and keep the nose on the inside of the Carlin. Robin is racing once more between the pair of them here as we head back in towards the final few corners. And again, just trying to sit back there as well. Joseph parks the bus off the corner. But yeah, like I said, hopefully we'll get a couple of freebies from these guys. Oh, Joseph, big wobble there. Is the ART going to be able to get back up the inside of him off the corner? Not quite. It looks like Connor will come through for the race victory then in the sprint race. Maffio running very, very wide through the penultimate corner, but we've got a beautiful show at the end of that one, but we'll come through for P7. And of course that gets promoted up to P5 then when all the penalties have been dished out. So I think we can be pretty happy with that result in the end then. Let's go have a look at those final race results and sort of just have a quick check there. I mean, we got 6 points yesterday. I think that's going to be another 4 points in the sprint there. So 10 points when all is said and done. Driver of the day, yeah, absolutely. Goes to Connor there. I think that was 7th or 1st in the end. And we basically did the opposite, to be fair, though. I mean, it looks better on the final results, of course, because we managed to avoid picking up another penalty. But yeah, let's go have a look then at those final results. It was Connor ahead of Bourbon. So yeah, the top 2 in the feature race yesterday managed to still work their way back through to the top 2 in the sprint there. Leopard as well, less than a second back in P3 there ahead of NT and myself. Joseph, Maffio, both with penalties ahead of Apex and Jack there with just Ben, that unfortunate retirement late on in the day. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourselves subscribed as well, and we will return very, very soon with more LCR F2.